Hello, hey guys, what's up, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Camille, and if you're new here, you can totally subscribe. And yeah, if you're curious why we have a new setup going on right now, it's because I'm actually in the middle of transforming my room, doing a room makeover. So if you guys want to see that series, I have episode 1 out right now, and episode 2 is coming out very soon. And then, yeah, anyways, that was really off topic, but today's video is part of another series on here, which, if you didn't already know, I have a series on here. This is episode 3, and it's called Advice from a High School Senior, and it's basically all of my advice on high school and all that stuff, a bunch of high school related content. So if you want to see that, subscribe. There's going to be a ton more episodes, and I'll link the playlist right up here so you guys can go watch episode 1 and 2. But for today's episode, we're going to talk all about getting good grades. So yeah, let's just get right into it. Okay, so I wrote down a list of tips on my phone, and I'm just gonna talk about them. And yeah, if you're already doing these, kudos to you, good job. If you're not, I hope this helps you. And yeah. Okay, so the first thing that I think is important to help get good grades in high school is to set your priorities. So I think it's very important to realize that school is a priority, especially if you want to be good at anything. You have to realize that it's a priority to you. So I think just setting in your head that school is a priority is very important. And I think it's just such an overrated or untalked about topic, or untalked about concept. But I think just realizing that school is a priority to you is your first step to success. Okay, the next one is also a pretty common one, and that is just to show up and participate. I think it is so important to show up, be in class as much as possible, because that is the only way that you're actually going to get the material to be able to do well on tests, to know which projects you have to do, to be able to do the projects. I think just being in class and actively listening, taking notes, raising your hand when you have questions is very important, and I think it really helps you learn the information. For me, I don't learn the information as well if I have to learn it after a class, or if I missed a class. I always don't know that information as well. So I think it's very important to try to be in every single class, and your grades, your teachers, your parents, yourself will thank you for it. So yeah. Okay, the next one is one that I preach a lot, and that is to use your planner. I think this is just really important so that you don't forget things. Sometimes, or it really sucks when you miss a project, or you don't turn something in because you didn't know it was due then, or you had other things going on, or you didn't realize you had this in this class. So I think it's so important to plan, because then you won't miss, say you have a quiz, and then it helps you not forget about that quiz, so you're actually able to study. I just think having all of your school stuff in one place, and a place you're able to check and that's accurate, is so important to your success in turning in assignments. So yeah. And obviously you have to turn in the assignments to get a grade, so yeah. Okay, similarly along that lines, the next one is to be organized. I think it is so important to have an organized space and backpack and planner, because if you lose things, you can't turn them in to get a grade on them, which automatically gives you a bad grade. So I think try to have notebooks for each subject, or folders, and keep your papers organized so you don't lose anything. Have an organized planner that you can actually read when I have to turn in this assignment, or when I have quiz, and just have an organized study space at home so that you can find everything you need, and so that studying goes smoother for you. And I think that's really it's kind of key in turning anything in. Okay. Next one is one that I never really, I don't know, I feel like it was just kind of ingrained in me since I was really little, which is so interesting, but that is that every assignment needs to get done. So this one is one that's kind of daunting, I do have to say, but in my head, every assignment counts. If you think about it, at the end of the year, oh sorry, I just cracked my fingers. At the end of the year, if you're between a B and an A, and you just didn't do an assignment earlier in the year, that's gonna bump your grade down. But if you tried on every single assignment the entire year, number one, the teacher's gonna know that, and the teacher's gonna maybe bump your grade. Number two, and they'll be more likely to, and number two, you'll actually have those extra points. So I say do every single assignment, especially if it's extra credit, because those assignments usually help you, and they also help boost your grade. So just do as much as many assignments as the teacher assigns, do them all, think of them as like mandatory in your head, and yeah, then you'll get the maximum amount of points or whatever you're graded on. And yeah, also every assignment is really to help you learn. So if you skip assignments, then you probably won't do so well on the test or anything like that. So make sure you're doing assignments so that you actually are ready for the test. So yeah, just do all your assignments, turn them in on time, and yeah. Okay, sorry, I had to check if you were recording because yesterday I recorded this whole video without actually having my camera turned on, so that was really annoying. But okay, the next one is to figure out your learning style. I feel like this can be so helpful when figuring out how you study best, how you learn best. So there are actually 4 types of learning styles. There is visual, auditory, kinesthetic, and then reading and writing. So visual is like you do best like looking at maps or like, I don't have any good examples. Auditory is like you do best listening to someone tell you something. Kinesthetic is you do best like with your hands and like moving things around. And then reading and writing is you do best like reading things and writing things down. I personally don't really know which one I am. I think I'm more like visual and maybe reading and writing, because definitely writing things down for me really helps. But I just think learning your learning style can really help you study better for tests, know in classes when you aren't like learning, figure out a different way that will help you learn better. So say like the teacher is teaching it in one way, but you realize that another way would actually help you learn it better. But yeah, I think that's just really helpful in general, knowing your learning style, and yeah, will help you learn better, study better, and all of the above. So then you're obviously, when you learn and study better, your grades go up. And I think if you don't know your learning style, just start experimenting. Like think about past experiences. When did you learn something really well, and when did you like not learn it so well? And maybe that will help you. Okay, sorry, that was a long rant on that. The next one is to figure out how you like to take notes. I think this one is sometimes kind of a hard one to figure out because everyone likes their notes different. Some teachers require you to take notes a certain way, some don't. I think one thing that I would suggest is using colors in your notes, because for some reason, I don't know if this is scientifically proven, I heard it somewhere, but that when you use colors in your notes, like your brain, and you like change colors when you change topics or like ideas or words or something, your brain remembers the color and the word, and you actually like remember it better on a test. And yeah, I find it really like, it actually works when you use colors. You remember so many things so much better. So use colors in your notes, and yeah, just try to experiment with which notes work for you. Okay, the next one is one that's a little cliche, and I know you've heard it so many times, but ask for help when you need it. This doesn't always have to be the teacher. This can be a friend you know in the class, and you can just like compare your answers. Or this can be your parents if you're at home and you have a question about your assignment and they know how to answer it. It can also be your teachers. Don't be afraid to ask your teachers, because fun fact, your teachers actually love it when you ask questions. So ask as many questions as you want. They're there to answer them. And if they're not happy about that, they probably shouldn't be a teacher, but that's a whole other like topic. Anyways, but I think you should just ask as many questions as you need to. Don't be afraid. Asking questions is such a good thing because it means that you're thinking about the material and you're expanding on it and you're growing on it. So yeah, ask questions to those when you need it. And yeah. Okay, the next one is to find an environment at home that works to study. So whether you're doing online Zoom classes or you just need to do your homework at home, I feel like having a designated space at your house that is solely for focusing on whatever is so important, because number one, it should be like an organized space that you're able to like clear your brain of other like clutter distractions, and then number two, your brain like associates certain spaces in your house as certain things. So if you have this like productive zone, your brain will associate it as that, and you'll be more productive when you're sitting in that area. So yeah, I think it's just really important to have a study space that you like, that makes you feel happy. I mean, okay, I'll admit, studying isn't like the happiest thing, but that makes you just feel comfortable and that has all of your study materials and study tools around, so you don't have to keep getting up in the middle. And yeah, also you can have food, because food is amazing, or drink, water, whatever. Okay, the next one is to study with others when possible. I think this is so important, because I know the classes that I've studied with other people for, or like in, I've done the best in. I've gotten the best grades because I understand so much better the like topics that are being discussed. So whether it's in math, reading, writing, history, whatever it is, try to talk with friends in class. Whenever you have like a small question, just talk to them about it. Be like, oh, hey, how did you do this? And like compare answers or whatever. I did that a lot in math for all growing up. I feel like all through middle school and all through high school so far, I'll just like ask one of the friends that I know, like, hey, what did you get on, how did you solve this problem? I got stuck here. And then they'll be like, oh, I did this. And then I'll completely understand it so much better because they helped explain it to me. So yeah, ask other people around you, make friends in your class, make study groups, because it completely helps. Okay, the next one is to figure out your best test prep strategies. So this one is also going to take a little bit of time, a little bit adjusting, a little bit figuring out what you like, but there's so many options when studying for a test. You can make a Quizlet, like an online note card thing. You can make note cards in real life. You can write a sheet of all the important information of the past, like whatever's being covered on the test. You can do practice tests. You can do so much stuff. You can make your own practice tests out of what you've learned. So just try to really think about your learning style and what really helps you cement the information into your brain and then use it. I feel like just tests always become such a big part of your grade. Whether that is really fair or not is another discussion, but I think they do become such a big part of your grade that I think it's so important to figure out what works for you on testing. And also, test prep also includes like what you eat before or like how much sleep you get, because even if you know you like have this one strategy that really works for you, but you know that you don't work well off of zero sleep, don't skip your sleep to study if you're not going to do well on the test because of your sleep, if that makes any sense. I think it makes sense, but yeah, just realize what's important for you to be able to focus on your test whatever day it is. And yeah. Okay, the last one is kind of contradictory, but not really, but that is just not to burn yourself out. It's so easy, and I've seen myself do it before, to just burn out of school because I work so hard trying to do all of these things to get really good grades. And that's why I think every day it's important to realize and find balance, because I think that's like basically the most important thing in life right now is what I'm figuring out, is just like finding balance between all of your areas of your life. So school or your job, a sport that you have, family time, friends time, fun time, your self-care time. I think it's just really important to find balance and not just like once a month you do something. Like find balance every single day and make sure that you're still finding things that bring you joy. To be a good student, you don't have to like do schoolwork like every waking hour. You can do schoolwork, go to school, do a sport, have a little fun time with your family and friends, and then spend a chunk on doing homework, and you can get enough sleep. You can balance it all as long as you try to, so I think it's important to really find balance. Also, if you think about it, if you give your 100%, your 110% to school for like the first part of the year, and then you burn yourself out, then like at the end of the year when you have big projects, or at the end of the semester and you're just so burnt out that you can't even do them or turn them in, your grades are just really going to suffer from there. So just make sure you're really finding balance throughout the whole year, because you don't want to have like super high grades and then have them drop really low because you burnt yourself out. So yeah. Alright, that is pretty much everything for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope this really helps you get better grades this year if you didn't last year, or it helps continue, get you good grades, and helps you just learn your material better. But yeah, comment down below if I missed anything, or like what your tips are on getting good grades, because I would love to hear them. And yeah, okay, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye! Come back for the room series and more episodes of Advice from a High School Senior. Okay, bye!